everybody. Maybe. I think we're good. I think the frame is good now. Sweet. How's everybody doing tonight? Feeling good. Feeling good. Oh. Can't let this unplug. Happy Canada Day, whoever's Canada yesterday. Also, happy anniversary to Butchered at Birth. Greatest Cannibal album. That's how it is. Kiss a moose. Canada. That's what happens here, I guess. It's warm out there today. Oh boy. It's warm. It's warm. It's usually cold in the basement. It's warm today. We're getting close. How you doing? Hopefully everybody's awesome. Chris Robinson's name, Moose Knuckles. Always wear shorts like this. I gotta show off these. Gotta show off these beauties. Look at those legs. Oh man. It's funny watching it about 4 seconds later. Oh, it's all about Mausoleum. They're working on new material too. Represent the Votov. Represent some immortal possessions, some Canadian. You got it, guys. Good old Chuck, he's hanging out on here. Say hi to Chuck, everybody. Hey, Chuck. What's up, Mac and T? What's up, John? How are you doing, bud? Show Pete the legs. Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to get him jealous. Yeah, we don't have air conditioning in the basement. Usually it's nice and cool in the basement, but holy shit. So, it's not too bad. What's up, Colin? Thanks for sharing, buddy. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, this is some old footage. This is from like '88. I think I'm doing pretty good. Smash a little glass of wine here. Get a little loosey-goosey. What's up, Jake? Mr. Bristow himself. Daniel. What's up, Daniel? Whoever's checking out comments and reading stuff like that, Daniel's he's in a couple cool Canadian bands. Make sure to check that shit out. What is it? Gut Void? And he just started a grindcore band too, and it's fucking sick. Put some links in there, Dan. Make sure, let everybody know we got some links going on here. Some local Canadian too. Yeah, I think the family's okay. Boys are over at the mom's house. Oldest boy, he's starting a new business, so that's pretty fucking cool. So trying to help him along with that, you know, got to be entrepreneurish, right? That's how it works. Grotesque Mass. Yes. That's it. Sick. What up, Phil Pattison? Ooh, Phil Pattison. Yeah, guys. What's up? Cheers, everybody. You have more shows of Terrorizer? What, old school shows? That's cool. There it is, Grotesque Mass. Buddy Daniel just posted the links on there if you want to check out some killer grindcore. Check that out, and his death metal band. Post your death metal band, Daniel. Jesse Pintato. '87? You have footage from '87 from Terrorizer? Holy shit. With Cryptic. Alright, Kale, we'll have some more parties soon. Chester Long. Oh, of course we dig a sadistic intent. You didn't see the interview with Enrique a few weeks ago? Man, it was all dedicated to sadistic intent almost. Hell yeah, man. Yeah, go back on the YouTube or the Facebook or whatever. All the videos are on there, but yeah, we did a sweet interview with Enrique, so that was rad, man. Screw you, Chester. The video we were watching is from '87. I guess whoever uploaded it is wrong. Sam Biles, man. Hideous Manglus. What's up, Sam? Oh, Patrick, you taped this show? No shit, that's cool. That's cool. Fuck, sometimes we wish. Let's get this down here a bit. Man. You almost wish sometimes that you were born a little earlier to be able to appreciate and go to these places, man, at these times. Wow. Right on, Pat. That's killer. I don't care what anybody says. World downfall. End of story. Unbelievable. Oh shit, that's cool. Wow, look at Patrick, man. You were busy back then. That's cool. That's cool. Helping the scene out, man. Because we loved it. It's just what we love doing, right? Getting this crazy music out to a crazy audience. Totally, man. I didn't put on my first show till '93. No, death metal. Death metal show was '93. I think I put a show on in '92. Now that was my first trip into live music. What was my first death metal show? Let's see. Do I got the poster somewhere? Maybe. I think still. There it is. Hold on. And this is the original flyer too. That was my first death metal show. Grotesque Infection and Infestation, both Buffalo, Niagara Falls bands. I was supposed to go see. Oh, I got the flyers upstairs too. I was supposed to go see. I believe it was Demonacy, Goraphobia, Grotesque Infection, and a couple other bands. But we got the poster just after the show happened, so we missed it. Because I'm a local guy. I'm Niagara Falls, Canada. So we were pretty close. We were right on the border. So we ended up going over to Buffalo and Niagara, and we started getting into extreme music and hitting up a few of the local record shops and stuff like that. And Cavages was a local record shop with a couple guys that worked there. Were heavily into the scene back in the day. And I guess one of the guys that worked there was the one that introduced Cannibal Corpse to Metal Blade Records. So obviously I didn't know that until later. And Cavages was the place where I seen these flyers. And so I missed that Grotesque agoraphobia show, but then and then we caught this flyer just soon after. So yeah, this was my first show that I went to, October 3rd. That was October 3rd. It was 92, I believe. So yeah, man, that was my first show. Yeah, man. What's up, Danny? Danny O'Shea, old school himself. Yeah, this definitely, man. You gotta hold on to these things sometimes, man. You don't know, right? And then all of a sudden, it's like 30 years later, it's like, oh shit, I still got these flyers. Right on. Yeah, man. Yeah, those were the days, man. Those were the days. Just want to give a shout out. I want to give a major shout out to our buddies in Mulder. Not sure if you're aware of these young Chicago fiends, but this album is literally sick. It is unbelievable. I am so proud to own this and to be somewhat affiliated with these guys, to see them grow. I got their the split with Coffin Rot, not the Canadian, not my old band Coffin Rot. There's a new Coffin Rot. But this album, man, it is unbelievable. I've already spun this a few times, and you just need it. It is a piece of old school history that is new. I'm really impressed, man. This is so good. This album came out on Rotted Life. It's got a sweet little inlay and all kinds of fun on there too, man. But it's a great album, man. Check it out. The tape is on, this is Head Split Records, this tape. And the album came out on Rotted Life, album and CD. So, gotta support, man. It's all about supporting, right? That's it, man. These, the younger generation, not saying everybody's got it, but there's a good majority that have been bringing a really cool sound lately, man. And yeah, it's been rad. Oh, you went to that Autopsy show? I wanted to go so bad. I wanted to go so bad to that show. Nobody would go with me, man. So I couldn't go. Yeah, I always try to put, exactly. You always try to pull the flyers off, right, man? Because that's just what brings you back, though. Like, you start going through, the flyers and the fanzines and the old tape trading lists. I mean, well, even now, there's no tape trading lists anymore, really. But yeah, man, it brings back those memories, man. It totally does. It totally does. Yeah, I miss Jesse too, man. Oh, nice. Autopsy filmed that show? That's cool. That's very cool. So happy Canada Day yesterday. And yeah, I ended up going out and did some swimming at a quarry. And just sat back in the sun, man. That's what you do. So it's let's see what we can do here. Let's see what we can do here. So what's up, everybody? Hope everybody's doing well. Don't get too hot. Pete's been trying to use some different phones and stuff, so there he is. What's up, brother? What's that?
You just called the wrong phone, man. I told you to call me with the other phone, 461-2130. This is the 750?
This is just...
75 something. Can you tell call on the other phone? Because I don't have enough battery on this one anyway. I'm going to die, you know what I mean? Well, I can plug it in, but I want to see how it looks on the other one.
All right, okay.
Facebook was better one. I mean, I have two accounts. You know that.
Okay. You haven't. Okay. Well.
I mean, it doesn't matter as long as you can call the same Facebook thing on the other phone. You know what I'm talking about?
This one.
Can you call me on the other phone or what?
Well, this is looking perfect though.
Okay.
This looks good. This looks great, man. Do you want to flip it sideways?
Let me. Tell me, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, I want to see if you can hear me with the speaker because the speaker is on. Just turn it off. Can you hear it different now?
Oh, that's better. That's fantastic.
This is better?
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's great.
All right, hold on a second. You just let me...
you want to just flip your phone sideways and we're ready to rock, man.
Yeah, of course.
There we are. Yeah.
It's just that this phone is just, I don't know, like this. This is just, hold on a second. Let me, listen.
All right. Phone's not flipping for some reason. Here, can I just hang this up and then when you answer the phone, just have it sideways, if that's cool?
Yeah, I'll have it sideways right away.
Okay, all right, let me call you right back.
Go ahead.
All right, cool. All right, we're getting somewhere. It's not flipping for some reason.
It's not working.
Well, it's for some reason your phone's not flipping sideways. Technology, eh?
Okay, hold on a second. How is this? Wait a second. Oh, I know why it is. Wait a minute.
All right, cool. There we go.
Yeah, I had it wrong, bro.
Perfect, man. Perfect. We are live and we are good.
So what is this all about? I mean, live on what, bro?
Yeah, we're live. We're live right now, man.
Watching? Who's watching?
There's about 100 people watching right now.
Yeah. What is this? What is the purpose of this?
To talk to you. We'll talk some old school stories and stuff, man, and see what Pete's all about.
Old school stories, huh?
Yeah, man. Like obviously, like right now, I'm chatting with everybody right now, and we're talking with Mr. Pete Sandoval, formerly of Morbid Angel, and obviously of Terrorizer, and we're just hanging out and talking about death metal and everything about it. There we go. Beautiful, man. Beautiful. How are you today?
Pardon?
How are you today?
I'm doing fine now, man. It's been a rough day.
Ah,
I've been doing a lot of stuff, and some stuff took me longer than I expected, and I'm a little tired, look a little bit. But I'm okay now, man. I'm ready to talk.
you look beautiful. You look beautiful.
Whatever I can do, man. Thank you, man. Whatever is nice.
So, Mr. Pete, you obviously been around in the scene for quite a while now. And from what I've been reading and from what we know, you got Terrorizer going a long time ago with some different yeah. You've got Terrorizer going a long time ago, correct? Like in 85, 86 is when you kind of started getting not Terrorizer but under a different name.
Well, I mean, just about everybody knows the story by now, you know what I mean? I repeated it like 100 times, but
Sure,
I mean,
sure.
everything started in LA, of course. And to make a long story short, when I joined 1985 towards the end, something like that, the middle or the end of 85, I met those guys, J.S.T. Pintado and Oscar Garcia. And some other guys, the guys that were playing bass. And back then, they had a band that were doing covers, like death metal covers, like death covers, master covers, repulsion covers, all kinds of covers. And the name of the band, as I recall, was Unknown Death. That's what the first name. That's why when I met the guys, the name was Unknown Death. That was the name of their band.
Okay.
Then I joined the band, and we tried to come up with a different name, and then I would call it Decomposed for like a couple months. It was going to be Decomposed, past tense. But that, it didn't work either, and I think it was one inspiration, one of the songs, I don't know whether it's like Repulsion song. There's a song called Terrorizer in one of those albums, early albums. Repulsion album or master, I think it's Repulsion that has a song called Terrorizer. And since those were like influential bands for those guys, they were very heavily influenced by that kind of music, you know what I mean? That kind of stuff. Master, Repulsion, that type of music.
Right.
So they just thought that Terrorizer was going to be a cool name, and we were agreeing, and that was the beginning of it. 1986, we started writing music towards the end of 85, and by 86, we were already putting out demos.
Yeah.
And as you've heard, there's been a couple of demos, from 86 to 87, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was the end of it, pretty much, because that goes to the next chapter.
Right. And then you ended up getting the gig with Morbid Angel just right after that, correct?
Right, in 88, I joined the Morbid Angel 1988, 4th of July. Fuck, it's going to be 4th of July pretty soon. That's going to be an anniversary. Day when I joined, that was the day when I joined, man. It was an early 3 a.m., 4th of July, man, when I got there.
Wow.
So that was the beginning of a new,
Yeah.
of a new thing to come,
And
we had no idea, Back then, this thing was, nobody had any idea where all this was heading, And here we are, you know what I mean? That was pretty much the beginning, the late 80s, or the middle 80s was the beginning of the thrash metal, speed metal, you know what I mean? Slayer creators, you can name it, Destruction, early Metallica, Kill 'Em All, Sodom, Battery, Excited from Canada.
yes.
So many cool bands, that were happening in 86, 85, 86, you know what I mean? And that was, And from there on, death metal wasn't really born yet because nobody, it was very, very, very underground, same was as the tape trading, that was the tape trading that was going on back then. You can only tape trade with fans, back and forth, and fanzines, underground fanzines.
Yeah.
And that was the beginning, late 80s, and I mean, kind of because Death started like 88 or something. They had their demos also,
Right.
And that was it, man. That was a new genre, death metal and grindcore, you know what I mean? Nobody knew that there was going to be part of the musical history, the ladder
Yeah.
of different kinds of genres, you know what I mean? From like, not genres, but for the same seed, the rock and roll seed, rock and roll first, then heavy metal, then thrash metal, thrash speed metal, coming up to death metal, grindcore.
Yeah.
And then that was for the 90s up, that was the whole a long journey.
Yeah. So you've always been involved with the extreme side of the heavy metal scene?
On the heavy metal team, you mean?
Yeah, the whole scene itself, right? Like you were involved with the underground since the early days, correct?
I got into heavy music, into rock music, when I was in high school. A friend of mine introduced me to heavy metal, Judas Priest, Black Sabbath, AC/DC, you name it, Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
I mean, Deep Purple. All these classic bands that I've never heard before. And because before I heard the heaviest thing I had heard was like the Wall from Pink Floyd, things like that. In my country, this kind of music was like rare. Not even rock and roll was very hard to find. Unless you knew people, unless you worked already in that kind of music. But other than that, there was nothing like that back in my country. So when I came into this country, and I started going into junior high and then high school. That's when in high school I discovered the heavy metal, rock music, heavy metal. And from there on, I was totally into heavy metal, just buying heavy metal albums, Albums was the things back then, as you know.
Yeah.
And Scorpions, remember having my Scorpions Black Out,
Nice.
Having my Scream for Vengeance album. That was the first Judas Priest album I have ever heard. That's how I met him. That's why I knew Judas Priest. A band that comes from back so many years back.
Yeah.
And the first album I heard is Screaming for Vengeance.
Unbelievable album.
Then I had here Speak of the Devil, the Ozzy Osbourne and Randy Rose, the album that you opened up.
Yeah.
And then the two album thing. And then in the center you saw the guy, the Ozzy, big picture. Those were the days, man.
Yeah.
And AC/DC, it was happening. I loved all the kind of stuff until I heard Kill 'Em All, from Metallica, which started changing things for me. For what hit into like, wow, this is heavier, this is faster, this is than these other heavy metal bands. So suddenly speed was the thing for me, or more like a heavier, thrashy. I was already just hungry, looking, searching for bands like that,
Yeah.
And that was the beginning, that was the first album. Then Show No Mercy, of course, that was the classic one, Under the Chapel. those two albums. I would be playing them all over and over and over and over. That was a big influence in the Show No Mercy. That's when I started. You know, that was when he was just spitting, the skank beat. You understand the skank beat, the Slayer beat?
Yep.
Okay, if I would just say the skank beat,
Yep.
the Slayer beat. I would just wanted to play that kind of stuff, but everything was by ear. Something like I had it in me, I had drums with me. So I could hear exactly what the guy was playing. Even with heavy metal, when I go pam, pa, pam, pam, pa, I know what the hi-hat is, even though I never had a drum set before, I had a chair. I would just feel like I'm sitting right here. I have a chair in front of me and a pillow and two drumsticks. And that was my drum set. That was my drum set right there, man.
Cool.
And I would be playing along with heavy metal, always, and then comes speed, speed metal. Everything was like that, and I would just practice a lot of that kind of music, and then it occurred to me, why couldn't this go twice the speed of the skank beat, the speed metal, the one that was happening back those days. Back those years, there were some bands that were attempting to do some kind of blast beat, like a medium speed, you know what I mean? Like repulsion, you can say, there's like a medium blast beat speed, kind of band. And then Cryptic Slaughter, there was another band called Cryptic Slaughter from Los Angeles, and they were also playing that, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that was, hey, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to play, but I wanted to go like, I don't know how fast it was gonna go until I met those guys, actually, and they saw me play. They just saw me play, because I was gonna audition for them, of course. And they see me playing drums and doing the same beat and the blast beat, 1, 2, 3, 4, back 2, 3. Wow, you guys have never seen that. For me, that was perfect for the riffs they wanted to write. So that's why we started writing this kind of the first album, the first songs for the first album, of course, and all the World Downfall songs. And that was the beginning, with our Terrorizer. That's when I got my blast beat started. And pretty much, all I wanted to do was like, there was in me like, this skank beat with a blast beat. You understand, right?
Oh, yeah.
That was what I was doing already back in 1986, 87. Because you can hear a demo from 87, and you can tell the speed.
Oh, yeah.
1 foot. And everything was 1 foot because before I joined MORBID ANGEL, I never used double bass. Only had one kick drum, only had one pedal. So everything you hear from Terrorizer from back those demos, though, it's only one kick drum until I joined MORBID ANGEL, and eventually I learned double bass so quickly. One in MORBID ANGEL, and then we did the follow-up album, which was the World Downfall with the Terrorizer guys.
Right.
And there is some double bass in that album, actually, because I already perfected some type of double bass for the first Autos of Madness. So I could play, since we recorded Autos of Madness first, I added some double bass for the album only, for the World Downfall, but mostly, like 80% of that album is just like 1 foot, It's just a couple of songs that have double bass, a few songs.
Yeah.
But, Terrorizer is known more like a 1 foot blast beat anyways.
Right.
And That was the beginning of everything.
Wow, wow. So, like you were mentioning, you were doing the 1 foot as because that's all you had, and then once you joined Morbid Angel, did they tell you it was like we need double bass in this, so you need to learn it now?
Well, yes. The thing happened is like I knew when I first heard the demo, because that was the first time I never heard of Morbid Angel either. You know, when they sent me the tapes, they had to send me the tape because when they contacted me, they were in trade. They asked me, "Hey, have you heard Morbid Angel, man?" No, because all I was listening to it back those days was like a Crank or Napalm Dead, was also one other band that started, whatever, late 80s, so, so what was your question again?
About getting the double bass with Morbid Angel because you were doing the 1 foot with Terrorizer.
No, exactly. This is what I'm telling you. With Terrorizer, there was only one, for all the demos that I did, there was never, when I was with those guys, I never used double bass.
Right.
Until I was, I learned double bass with Morbid, and then...
You guys you ended up recording alters pretty quickly after you joined, correct? So you needed to learn the double bass quickly.
Oh, and another thing, worse than that, on the same, I joined July 88, 4th. Towards the end of that year, they they had set up some shows for the United States, like about 8 shows. So I had to be ready for the shows also, before we recorded the album.
Right.
We did a short run in the United States. So I had like 2 to 3 months to learn double bass.
Wow.
And it was the hardest thing in my life because I give up like 3 times, I quit, 3 times. I said, no, I'm not going to be able to do it. because it was hard, I would practice every day for 8, 10 hours. I would just sometimes fall asleep on my drums. And it wasn't working, It's not going to be something that you're going to push. This is why it was very, very hard, because I had to do it in such a short period of time, play at that speed.
Right.
At the Morbid Angel speed is something hard to fix for other drummers. More than 2.5 months. It takes, up to a year, to reach a speed like that. So like I'm telling you, I quit 3 times, but they were encouraging me, both guys. They were just, man, you can do it, we know we can do it. So they would not give up on me. They would not give up on me, and persuading until I would do it. And in my determination, my will, because I had the will, that I wanted. If I can do it 1 foot, I can do it 1 foot. But the thing is that the magic happened, after a few months, practice, and finally happened. And then when it happened, and that was the beginning of the preparation for Autism Madness. I had to do the shows before, so it happened. It was supposed to happen, man. It was something where, and when I was telling you, it's like, they had to send a demo, that Kingdom Come. You're familiar with the demo,
Yep.
right?
Oh, yeah.
That was the first demo. They recorded with Wayne Hartzell, not Mike Browning, but Wayne Hartzell.
Yep.
Mike Browning did the first album, The Abominations of Desolation. That's when Mike Browning plays drums and sings, I believe, before David came in the band.
So Trey had formed the band already with his guy. I think was Brownie now, with Gene Marino, which I believe the guy is not alive anymore, right? Gino Marino? He's, you know what I mean?
I don't think so,
wow.
no.
You can even, you go, wow, he's gone. But anyway, he was there playing too from the very beginning with Trey, you know. And so what I was saying, that Kingdom Come EP, because it was a 3-song EP.
Yep.
First time I heard it, you know, I played that tape, you know, first song that Kingdom Come, then Abominations, and then, you know, Blasphemy, whatever. All of them had double bass, bro. So I had to assume, oh, well, before I moved, you know, I'm going to have to work this, but for me, I thought it was going to be easier. Of course, it was going to take it easier. And so I started kind of jamming already before I moved with double bass over there, but without knowing how to do it right, you know what I mean? To tell you, the first few weeks that I was playing with Morbid and I was learning double bass, I learned it wrong. I learned it the other way around, you know. I was starting, instead of starting with my right foot, I would start double bass with my left foot. You know, I'm a right-hand drummer.
Right.
So right-hand drummers usually 99% start with a right foot for everything.
Right.
Double bass, right foot first. You know, left-hand side drummers usually start with the left.
Yeah.
But they play, you know, different because the left hand is on the hi-hat and the right hand is on the snare.
Right.
And the left foot, of course. So, but what I'm trying to say is like I was playing double bass. I was doing it like that, you know, right hand, but I was starting with my left foot.
Oh. Wow.
No, but I did it for like almost a month, and I was playing it fast, and I was playing with the guys, and they didn't even realize that I was doing it wrong until they realized that, wow, dude, are you a left-handed or right-handed? You started the song like, for instance, Bleed for the Devil. The song for the first album has I was doing this song starting with my left foot, my left leg. You know, I thought I was doing it right.
Yeah, you don't know, right? Yeah, exactly.
But then suddenly this guy said, no, man, it's not right, man. You got to start with the right foot, of course. It's going to be easier for you for the long run, you know.
Right.
Not to start it with, or not to start something that you're not supposed to do it like that because you're a right-handed drummer. So I was wasting my time doing it, starting double bass with my left foot. That was another tragedy. It took some another time. All right, I have to start all over again and start it. Well, I already had the kind of speed on my legs.
Right.
So I just had to change instead of starting with my left one, I had to start with my right
Yeah.
one. The right way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the right way. So that was another thing, you know, that I thought I knew how to play double bass, but I didn't even know how to play double bass. So just imagine that.
Yeah.
So then, you know what I mean, we finally did it the right way, and that was how fun it was, you know. I listened to the album, to the EP, like Kingdom Come, and when I first heard that EP, just instantly I realized this is something new, fresh. This is something that I never heard before, but it's very catchy, it's fast, furious, it's brutal.
Yeah.
And not that it wasn't as fast as in the album, because the Kingdom Come is a little slower, because Wayne wasn't playing as fast, but very solid. You know, he's playing solid and brutal, and it was brilliant. It was badass, man, that album, especially like Abominations. He plays Abominations so great on the EP. So when I hear that, I just I just go, well, Terrorizer, we were not doing nothing, It was like, Grindcore wasn't born yet. Nobody cared about Grindcore. Even, worse death metal,
Right.
So, we were not doing anything, dude. We were doing like a gig, like once, 2 gigs a month, maybe, like a party house gigs, backyard house big kind of gig. And we were not doing much, because nobody was interested, because back then Grindcore, wasn't really 86, 87, nobody cared, so everybody said, yeah, it's okay, man, you can join the band. I mean, we're not doing nothing. Even Jesse was the one that gave them my number, because he told them, yeah, we're not doing much, bro. This is dead over here. You can call them, because actually what they called them for was for if they knew a drummer that could play like me.
Wow.
But then they instantly Jesse just tells them right away, hey man, we're not doing much here. Why don't you just call Pete, man, and give him a call and ask him if he wants to do it, whatever. Of course they were asking that, They were asking for someone to play like me, but nobody was. Whatever. So, wow, there you go. And they started calling me. And no, man, I didn't know the band. I didn't know who you guys are. We played the band, or we were this and that, and blah, blah, blah. You can see us in these magazines and everything. They sent me a copy. I had to wait for that a couple of weeks. And when I heard it, I had to take a couple of weeks to make up my mind, because I was living in LA back then. And I had to make coast to coast move.
Yeah.
A big move, a long move.
Yeah.
So I had to think of things over, because I had a job, like a normal job, And Terrorizer was like a hobby thing, a part-time thing, because we were not doing like I'm telling you, there was nothing going on for us until we recorded the Altos of Madness, and then the same owner of the Earache Records got interested in the world, the Terrorizer thing, because Jesse by then had already joined the Napalm Death, Like I think a few months later, he was called to join the Napalm, so he was gone also. And
wow.
And that's how everything started, There was.
Right.
That was it, man. I just say, wow, I really loved that. I really liked it. I have never heard anything like that. And the musicianship, it was so technical, but it was so brutal. It was so furious. It was so, I would say evil,
Oh, yeah.
It was evil.
Oh,
it was
yeah.
brutal. And back then, I was more of a teenager. And of course, man, I was like into that, and plus the speed, wow. So that's what Morbid Angel was looking for, to complete the team.
Right.
A drummer that will come up and play the songs fast.
Yeah.
As fast the Terrorizer demos that they hadn't heard, because Trey hadn't heard that one of the demos, and David, I don't know which of the demos, there's one of the demos which is very fast, And they wanted to get to that speed, so that's why they were just looking for someone like me to complete,
yeah.
the team.
Yeah. Well, because nobody at that time too was probably playing anything as fast as that, correct? And it was.
Oh no, not. And the thing is, the brother thinking. Okay, there was Napalm Death that was doing the blast beat, but it is some kind of blast beat that was kind of not as clear.
Right.
Not as clear, not as when everything was too noisy with Napalm. All you heard was a snare, with a foot. No. The blast beat is like it's like what you hear on. Nowadays a lot of drummers, doing it.
Right.
But it's not just the snare over the foot and whatever. No, it is roll, you know, it is like a roll that you do with your hands, you know, with your 2 hands.
Right.
This is a roll, okay, with the hands. So, my right hand, instead of my right hand, let's say my right foot is my right hand. So my right foot is doing this too. So you have to hear, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not clear.
Yeah.
Not clear separation, because there's got to be a separation in between the snare and the kick drum. It cannot be together unless you do the bomb blast, which is double bass, and then the snare on top of it.
Right.
That's a different way of doing it, which is also, you know, with double bass, which is also brutal. But this was like a 1 foot blast beat, and I was doing it very clear, you know, obviously, and fast and tight. So that was it.
Yeah, because your blast beat, like exactly like you said, your blast beats weren't kick drum and snare at the same time. It was separated. It was bass snare, bass snare, bass snare, bass snare, bass snare. But you were doing it a lot faster than anybody at that time, really. That style, not just at the same time, right? It was like
that style, because the other bands that were doing it at that kind of, that you can understand this. The separation.
right.
Was both like the only bands were like that I can recall. Repulsion, Cryptic Slaughter,
Right.
and a few other bands that were doing things like that, but very short little pieces of blast beat, but like this kind of speed, which I would say a medium. You see, this is like the skank beat, okay?
Yep.
The slave beat, which
Yep.
is like 1, 2, 1, 2.
Yep.
You know, this is the skank beat. Foot, snare.
Yep.
And then, of course, the blast beat is gonna have to be same speed, you know, which is, and not like a, no.
Right.
No, I mean, pa, 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 pa.
Yeah.
And those bands, so that's the actual blast beat. Now the medium, back then, bands like that and a few other bands, again, you know, I remember more like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, it's like when you do skank,
Yeah.
see the difference? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. It's a blast beat. You know, this is the foot, this is the snare. But it's like at this speed.
Right.
So that's what I heard back then that was happening as far as drummers playing the blast beat.
Right.
How, you know, the speed that they were playing it. Then Napalm, of course, was like,
Yes.
but you hear a lot of noise, and then I don't hear this. I don't hear that.
Yeah. Well, because Mick was using a lot of like the crash while he was doing his blast beats too, which just made a lot extra noise, right?
Right. I mean, I'm not saying that, you know, I don't want to be negative. I don't want to be negative with Napalm, because they were a big influence on Terrorizer as well.
Yeah.
You know, Casey and Oscar, they loved Napalm did. I mean, Nick, he wasn't a bad drummer. He was a great drummer, dude. He was doing it. The thing is that, I don't know, the type of music was too grindcore, was too songs. That was Napalm.
Right.
They were not concerned about there's something, you know, with a blast beat, very clear, whatever. So, but still, you know, it was great, you know. I'm sure he was hitting the bass too, but it's hard to tell, you know. You put the, if you go there and listen to the blast beats from back then, you know, if you can hear what the food is doing and things like that.
Right. Yep.
So it's not as weird because it's just
There's a lot of noise.
Grind noise band.
Yep.
You know, it's a noise score. There's a noise score band.
Yep.
And you know, that's it, man. I wasn't really looking around who was doing what, how they were doing it. I just didn't need anybody because I didn't get influence from my style, for what I came up with, the blast beat, the 1 foot blast beat. You know, there was no influences back then. You know, my influences were Dave Lombardo, Slayer, for as far as like the speed metal, speed black metal style. You know, drummers like I really like also the Killers album from Iron Maiden. You see, that was also another influence of mine. And with a number of the beats, Clive Bird, that's a drummer that was pretty, I liked.
Yeah.
I liked a lot. Mm-hmm.
And with the death metal, though, that changed the sound that you were like you said. Mick Harris had a certain sound or whatever. But it was the grindcore. But with the death metal and Morbid Angel, you were able to differentiate your blast beats because the riffs were a little clearer to understand, but yet more evil. So that gave you probably a little more inspiration to be cleaner with your blast beats, correct?
Well, the songs were written to be played like that.
Right.
They couldn't be played like miss one beat or do it wrong.
Right.
Songs were like that. They were written like that, man. For that type of drumming.
Yeah. Was it hard to get into the Morbid Angel mode after playing the grindcore style?
To play the death metal?
Yeah.
Style?
Yeah.
Well, not because, come on, I mean, I was already doing the blast beat. And all I had to complete it with to do death metal was learn double bass. So obviously there was not a big change for me. I was already playing death metal by 1 foot.
Yeah.
I could play grindcore, I could do death metal. I mean, it was the same kind of style of drumming. You know what I mean? So it was not much of a difference to me. I could already do the blast beat. And what I had to learn was do the double bass, play and to complete it. So that's the only thing that was hard.
Yeah, because
it was pretty tough for me.
Yeah.
Give me a second.
Yeah, no problem, man. No problem. This is fantastic. Right. So yeah, because the death metal there was more variety with the riffs, so that probably was a lot more fun to play because now there's different tempos, riffs, and stuff to play with instead of just.
But one thing that I forgot to mention was as far as technical.
Yep.
Technically. Grindcore. Terrorizer was more of a simple, was more of a, as you can tell, there's no leads. The leads are just guitars.
Yeah.
I mean, just rhythm.
And fast.
Yeah. Drums. So with Morbid Angel, it's different because I wasn't as good as playing slow beats.
Right.
I wasn't as professional. I didn't know much about it. And Morbid Angel had a lot of that, so I had to learn album through album. I had to learn these new styles. The Morbid Angel had. Terrorizer don't have. Well, maybe these latest albums that we've done. By comparing the World Downfall album to the Altus of Madness, you can tell there's a lot of other kind of
varieties of beats.
Beat and a few other kinds of timings, you know.
Yep.
And you know, like I was saying, if you understand, like there's a fourth timing and there is the triple timing.
Right.
And if you understand the difference, when you go to a song like Blasphemy,
Right.
or like it's called like Rapture.
Right.
When you song like Rapture, that's like a triple blast beat because it's like a 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1.
Right.
1 2 3 1 2 3 1 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. So like 1 2 3 is not 1 2 3 4.
Right.
So that's another technique that I had to another is the blast beat, the same blast beat, but in a different timing that I wasn't used to before. I never played Terrorizer, never did a 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3. That's a 1 2 3. But then when you go like Mr. Torment, Peso dead, bam, bam, 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 2 3 4 1 2 3 4.
Right.
It's a difference.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So this is different. Terrorizer didn't have the triple timing, and I mean, yeah, Morbid has. So therefore, there were several songs, at least 4 or 5 songs that have the triple timing. So many things that I learned that I had to learn and practice, and not learn from them, but to create. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To be able to create beats, because they didn't put them right there. For me, they just, you know, they helped me with ideas or with a basic thing, you know, what they had in mind, you know,
Yeah.
the kind of beat they wanted. So that was the only difference, you know. There's a lot of, compare a technical death metal band, such Morbid Angel, you know,
Yeah.
especially in the early, in the early years, to any grindcore band, you know. Grindcore is kind of simple. Not as simple, but you know, as you can tell, it's still brutal, fast, but
Pretty straightforward.
you know.
Pretty straightforward.
But yeah, more of a straightforward. You got it. More like that. A lot of songs just like a lot of blast beat, perfect blast beat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you know.
So it was easier. So it was easier after you started playing with Morbid to go back and kind of use some of your techniques for Terrorizer when you did World Downfall?
Ask me again.
So after you joined Morbid, they started, you know, your techniques were changing a little bit because now you're playing death metal. And then when you went to go back to record World Downfall, you brought some of your old techniques into World Downfall, and it just made it easier?
I did put a few parts, but I didn't want to change the song so much because they were already written one way, the Terrorizer way.
Right.
And what I added only was like some double bass, you know.
Some double bass. Right.
That they didn't have before. That's the only thing. And probably I did a few things on the slow beats here and there, but not much because you know that was a different kind of style, and that one had to sound like Terrorizer. You know, I had to make it a similar record it, and yes, and that's how we did it, man.
Yeah,
we did it on the same. The guys flew to Florida for a couple of weeks. Oxford and Jesse, and practiced a couple of weeks before recording the album. And since David Vincent happened to be there, and he knew this, and he loved the band as well. And he, and we didn't have a bass player. We didn't bring a bass player. We asked him, and he was more than happy to do the bass part for the album. And that's how everything started with David being Terrorizer, doing the first album. Since he was already there, why not just use him for the bass?
Yeah.
And that was the completion for the lineup for the first album.
Right on. And Morrisound That they were Terrorizer World Downfall was what I read was the first album that Scott Burns produced.
Terrorizer?
Yeah.
Yes, because the first what kind of band?
For Terrorizer.
Record?
Yeah, for everything, right?
Oh yeah, for that kind of music, yeah. He had done other things before already, but not this type of music. That was his first band that he ever worked with that kind of style of music, with that kind of that kind of drum beats, and yeah, that was his first experience, and
with extreme
we
music.
all worked together pretty good, we did it. He did a perfect job. Yeah.
Right on. That's cool. So then that obviously gave Scott Burns confidence to start doing more sound and, that sound that he was producing at that time because he did the Terrorizer World Downfall album.
Exactly. And he was working there. Oh, he was at the Morrison Studios. So, instead of using the expensive engineers over there with the biggest room that we used for Morbid, because Morbid had a bigger budget too, a bigger one, we had to use Scott Burns. And, and that's how it came up, in the picture,
Yeah.
And he did a phenomenal job, of course. And
unbelievable.
And it's still a loved album, loved by so many people, up to now, so many years ago.
Yeah, it's crazy, eh? Like, it's pretty crazy to think back, yeah. Yeah.
We're still doing it, we're still playing it, because we never did any tour before. So now we got to play that album, these last tours that we did. We had to play a lot of the album anyway. So.
Is it fun? Do you enjoy playing this stuff live now?
Oh, yeah. Of course. Yeah. And I had a lot more double bass now, so especially the new songs have a lot of double bass.
Yeah.
Acoustic Attack and also Zombies as well, a few years ago. So I enjoy playing Terrorizer, definitely.
Yeah. So.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's awesome. That's amazing.
Planning on going forward,
Yeah.
Planning to go forward.
Of course you do. So after you ended up doing Altars, and then you ended up doing Blessed Are the Sick. So for the Covenant album, you ended up going. It was almost like a double speed on that. That was a lot of practicing, I'm assuming.
Which album?
For Covenant.
Ah, Covenant. Yeah. That I was still, back those years, the first three albums. I would say I was. Those are years that I was more. On top with top form. In other words, I was more in shape. I was younger. Yep. It was more easy for me to do these things. And back then when triggers didn't exist.
Yep.
Of course, so everything, even Covenant, I'm using microphones. So. Until I started with Domination, where the trigger thing starts on the kick drums and snare, I guess. But I was so young and full of energy, and full of not just that, the ambition, the motivation that you have in you, and the dreams, because you see something that is growing and growing and growing by every album. Because the first album was a big success. Wow, nobody expected that.
Yeah.
And then we do the Blessed Are the Sick album, and that was not a great album. People accepted it and a lot of touring for the album. And wow, that was another one. I mean, a different sound. Of course, we don't know the people's preferences from album to album. And then comes Covenant, even though we took, I think, a little too much in between albums. We could have done more.
Right.
More, but we didn't, I don't know. We didn't get together as much, I guess. But Covenant was pretty much not as easy, but I had to practice hard, to get solid and fast for that album.
Yeah.
That's how that album has this kind of magical. I don't know. It's one, it's a very nice album.
Yeah. Oh, it's unbelievable, man. Your double bass on that, like, it's flawless, man. Like, I'm assuming obviously touring Altars and Blessed Are the Sick a lot. By the time you got to Covenant, you were tight as hell, and you wouldn't stop on that double bass. So did you just literally sit there and practice your double kicks? Like, that's it?
To get faster, you mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Covenant?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the how much experience I've gained already, and how much endurance and difference and stamina I already gained, and knowledge, how to do things or how to do them, I kind of, like you're saying, I was more, like I'm telling you again, it was one of the times where I was pretty much better, more in shape.
Yeah.
That I ever had until I did the Formulas album that came. Steve Tucker doing the band, which was, I went back to the speed thing because the domination kind of slowed down a little bit, in my opinion.
Yep.
Even though Great Songs is not one of my favorite albums, just because it was cut a little slower and a little short as well. But that's the way it is, that even though the album is loved by a lot of people anyway. I mean, it's not one of my favorite albums. But then Formulas, I came back with a vengeance,
Yeah.
because I knew I had laid down on domination as far as with speed, and stuff.
Yeah.
And
Formulas,
with Tucker was another journey, you know what I mean? So many,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was Tucker for 3 albums, and then it was David back for that, and it was so, back and forth.
For sure.
Thing going on, but we did those albums with Tucker, and
Yeah.
it was pretty good. Until I don't know what happened. Oh yeah, surgery. Yeah, the surgery comes in 2010, and that was sad. I played drum like for six years.
Right. Yeah.
Even though the Big Horses Zombies, it was the toughest thing for me to do. With the problem I had, I hated this, and I have to take care of it. And after that, I didn't know I was going to return, I was pretty much done until I started doing it, just jamming, just with Leah, he's from here, and he did the songs with the guitars, and he's the drummer from Monstrosity, he plays drums.
Yep.
His first instrument, but he does guitars as well, and we started playing, we started jamming on Terrorizer, and I didn't know how good he was playing it when we learned the whole album, and that was the beginning with him, and with the guys here locally, because it was much easier to work, locally, where everybody lived in the same place.
Right.
As opposed to everybody scattered. That's the hardest thing to work with the band.
Yeah. I bet. So Terrorizer feels good again, and you're back in top form pretty much right now.
Pardon?
You're back on top form again right now, right? Like you feel good about everything. Because I mean, like that the new album, especially with Lee Harrison, you guys are playing fast, like a lot of fast again.
Yes. That's our goal.
Yeah.
That's our goal.
And
That was our goal for that album. And there's another one coming pretty soon.
oh,
And it's gonna have the same vein, the same, you know, it's gotta be as it has always been,
right.
It change, like many other bands change, for the money or for whatever.
Right.
But with Lee Harrison was great work because he came out with some really cool riffs, some pretty cool songs, He wrote some pretty cool riffs, and I could deal with him like easier than any other guitarist just because he played drums too.
Yep.
So he knew how to connect with me when I'm playing, and he was also wanting to play that kind of style of music with somebody. And somebody started jamming with me, so he loves doing that also, you know what I mean? Because I can do it. When I write an album, he took advantage and started writing some of these riffs, these songs to the speed with this Caustic Attack album. And that's why this Caustic Attack album is it's an excellent album.
Yeah.
For those that haven't heard it, people don't know what they're missing because this is not just a grindcore album, man. It's like a death metal grindcore album, man.
Yep.
Because this album is just brilliant.
Yeah.
Sorry to say that, to those that don't like the new stuff, but
yeah.
Caustic Attack was really much better than Versus Zombies. Versus Zombies was too slow, like I say, I wasn't, I barely did that album. I don't know how I did it, but I did it. and so for this Caustic Attack album, I make sure that they were going to be brutal, fast, and catchy.
Yeah.
Riffs that were going to be catchy, clear, not as clear, bad clear, but fast and same kind of style, but it's like it's kind of a little bit, there's more to it in my opinion. Caustic Attack, it's not just grindcore. It's got this death metal feeling in some songs that we wrote.
Yes, definitely.
And
how long have you known Lee for? How long have you known Lee Harrison for?
How long?
Yeah.
How long do I know him for?
Yeah, quite a while, right?
Yeah. Since the early years when I came, I joined the Morbid Angel. He was back then with Evelyn Creation.
Right.
And we even did a show in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And they opened up for Morbid, of course, during the last years. I think it must have been before or right after. Can't remember that. But they opened up for us, so that's how I met him, back in the early 90s, But I didn't know that he loved Terrorizer a lot, too. He was one of his favorite bands, and he knew a lot of the songs, and that it was going to work out like this.
Right.
But you don't know how things are going to work out, but...
So then how did you and Lee end up hooking up together to start Terrorizer again?
Who?
Lee Harrison.
What about him?
How did you guys reconnect to get Terrorizer going?
With Lee Harrison was,
yeah.
I was telling you earlier. No. Well, You know, we met at a bar and talking, about music, Terrorizer and other bands, and then suddenly he came out with the idea, why don't we get together and start and jam a few songs? So we started jamming like about 3, 4, 5 songs on it. Because he loved Terrorizer, he wanted to just practice the song with me. And for me, it was great because it was a way of practicing with somebody. And that's how everything started, not seriously. I wouldn't even say, let's perform Terrorizer, no. It started like, hey, we'll check songs, playing, practicing the songs. And then suddenly, he learned those albums, so we say, hey, why don't we learn the album? And when we learned the whole album, then he knew Sam Molina from years back, because Sam did some shows with him, like with his band, with Strasser. He did an album, I think. He even did an album with Strasser. He was playing guitar, but he played guitar back then.
Right.
So Lee came up with the idea of bringing him, in the band. Why not give him a try? And the only thing that he played guitar and a bass, so we had to get used to the bass. So, hey, we started like that, jamming with the songs, and then why don't we do like a party gig, a free gig? We threw like a free gig. We didn't even charge. It was like a free thing. Imagine, we're not serious, bro.
Right.
You're gonna do a show. You're not charging it because it was a party.
Yeah.
So I wasn't expecting it. Of course, we didn't get that. But anyways, that's our first ever. I think you can find it on YouTube. The first show ever. When there's a cat on top of the roof, there's a cat that is moving. The lights. It's a big. Like a mechanical cat.
Yeah.
It's moving like that, but it's outdoors and it's like a backyard thing. It's a party.
Cool.
So that was the first day, and even back then we were not serious because we were calling the project Sandoval, Harrison, Molina, doing World Daffodil song or for tribute or something. Not a tribute because it's a band, but that's why we ended. Just like I told you, it was just a party, so we didn't even we didn't even think of forming Terrorizer yet. It didn't come to my mind. And then we got an offer for another party, a few weeks, a month later, there in Sarasota. Okay, same, Sandoval, Harrison, Molina, doing the whole World Downfall album. Okay, we did like 3 or 4 shows like that until we did the first festival, but we gotta do somewhere in like New Jersey or Maryland, Maryland.
Yeah.
We do this big. That wasn't just a party. It was like a festival.
Yeah.
So we send him the guy. We didn't send him the names. And hey, man, we told him we're not calling it Terrorizer, but he wanted it. He kind of wanted Terrorizer there on the bill.
Right.
And not Sandoval, Harrison, Molina. So, whatever, When we got there, it was Terrorizer. That was the first time I started using Terrorizer. Because I didn't think that, I wasn't going for that, back those, I wasn't, looking at it like that. I'm going to reform Terrorizer with these guys because first of all, I didn't even know if I could do it yet. because
Right.
I still I had problems with my back, and I was thinking about the guys that did all the zombies as well. What happened to them because we were not in touch because they were from California. I was from here, but hey man, why not?
Yeah.
See, we're from here. Lee plays the songs fucking great. Samolina, you doing a great job. That was the beginning. That was the first show that was named Terrorizer. From there on, said Terrorizer, and that's how it got up to
Right.
this time.
Yeah. So obviously your back felt better, and you were excited to start playing again.
Oh yeah, well my back doesn't really get better. I mean, nothing is gonna get better when you have a herniated disc.
Right.
And when you got problems with problems like that. But you just gotta take care of yourself, myself. Like with what I do, try to take care of myself. And I realized that I could take care, I can, that I could take more than I realized that I could, as far as playing songs. Now we do an hour and 15 minutes set, an hour and a half.
Right.
Yeah, we play a lot. We play a set with like 8 songs in a row, you know what I mean? Like that, we're not stuck.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I feel everybody, I mean, you can tell, I see videos of videos too, I don't know, you can tell there that, I'm going for it. I'm not giving up. And with Caustic Attack, it's a new challenge, because the songs are challenging live. Especially I had to play them with a metronome because first album I ever recorded with a metronome.
Ah. Wow.
That's why that album was so perfect. It's a time because I'm using a click. You know what I mean? So I'm not speeding up like I first wrote it down for a while, man. I mean, to be honest with you, man, I could have done so many things better. But it is what it is. For that time,
Of course.
it was fantastic, 1990.
Is
Who
it?
can complain about it?
Yeah. Is
But
it?
now, I know it's, there's so many things there that could have been done better.
Is it hard to play with a metronome?
Yeah, because when you're not used to it, and you play something really fast, and you're not used to it, it's like it's like following him. I never had to follow anything. I kept my timing to myself, and that's why most of the shows in Morbid,
Right.
all those years you can see a lot of live we play faster.
Right.
A lot of time. Why? Because it was kind of in me, the speed.
Yeah.
Putting change that was like, I would get excited and all this. I played so faster than the albums many times because I was never used click.
Right.
A metronome. Now, following a metronome, it is kind of harder. You have to use it, yes. But I believe that it's better.
Wow.
Because that the songs are going to be tight.
Right. You didn't,
that,
so you didn't end up using a click on Covenant at all?
No.
Wow.
No, I didn't know how to use the click back then. I would say no to the click. I don't know why. Every time they brought down the subject of the click, I wouldn't want to do it. I have no idea, because I was pretty comfortable with my own speed. I didn't think I had to follow anything. I wanted to play the way I was playing it, but with Lee it was different because Lee likes things pretty tight, And hey, for me, I'm not going to say no to any challenge.
Right.
So yes, this new album was recorded with a click. And playing live it is harder. Playing the album was not as hard. It was pretty much I was there in shape, I was ready. But playing live is a little harder, sometimes because sometimes you with a clip, sometimes you can easily drop an earphone.
Right.
And then you're with a click, and man, and things get like, you lose it. So you gotta be prepared for when you do live, having the right style, the right click, the right metronome to work with, to do your songs, play the songs. And I believe playing with a metronome is much better, yes, because it keeps you right where you're supposed to be,
Right. Do you feel it's losing the feel of the music though using a metronome? Because like you said before, you have never used a click, a metronome, or nothing, and now you are. Does it feel different, or do you kind of like it?
No, to be honest with you, many times because these last few tours after Custom Attack, I have to use the trigger live.
Right.
And many times I was not very happy. I was preferring to play without it, to be honest with you. I was having problems sometimes. And the problem was because I didn't have the right trick, I guess. Sometimes it wasn't loud enough, And so you can barely hear it, my drums were louder than the guitars and things like that, you know what I mean? When you open it for a band, you don't have time to chip, a lot of things that you're supposed to. You only got 30 minutes to set up the drums and get ready and go. So a lot of times, my metronome would be lower in volume and I would not put in my ear. I would be yelling my drum tech about it, but he doesn't know what I'm talking about. Until I finish with the song and then blah, 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 the metronome, a little harder. And I mean louder.
Right.
And things like that, sometimes, I have to use, sometimes I have to use this kind of headphones, because the other ones, I didn't have the right ones. They were falling more than once, the small ones, So, a few shows I used these ones, and even these ones I was having problems with, sometimes this problem would fall off. Here, and I'm playing the song, and one ear I'm hearing the click. And the guitars and whatever I want to hear there. And then, you lose it, you drop in your headphone and now nobody's watching. And I gotta do this drop and put it back a little better and continue the song. And you mistake there, kind of, but with the right thing, with the right metronome, with the right click, I think it's much better to play with the clicks more professional.
Right.
Unless you're a good drummer, you don't need it. You know what I mean? Not many drummers need it. So I'm going to tell you that I'm going to go there and without it, I'm going to play the song slower or faster or something like that. Nah, I'm keeping, but you never know until you get a click how fast the song has to go. Sometimes the time will be, with a 236, let's say 236 song, BP, 236. And I was playing 232 before, and then I go to 236. And you feel like I'll feel a change, you know what I mean? I have to push a little harder. And sometimes if if you're not following the click, I mean, of course you got to play faster, but it's much comfortable.
Right.
But there's a way to get used to it, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And I'm gonna continue using the live.
Yeah, because like you said, for the last 30 plus years, you've never used a click, and then all of a sudden, you have to pay attention, kind of, to not just you and the band, but now this beat that's in your head that you got to keep up with to a degree too, right now. So it's kind of like, so it'd be hard to get used to at first, but like you said, it's probably easier now. Yeah.
Totally. It's just I was never used to it. I always refused to. I mean, I don't know. I never gave it a chance, but now I wish I could have started using it before. When I was morbid as well, because it helps you play tighter later on in years. You play the song many times without it, then you already got the speed already because you played it so many times.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, the metronome is important for me. I mean, plus, and some songs don't have a metronome because World Downfall has the metronome. You know, the song you cannot play the song with metronome because of the timing. And that song fluctuates too, the timing, anyways. So I cannot use a metronome for that one. So I had to take off the metronome and play just the World Downfall songs. Without it, some of them are cool and some of them couldn't.
Wow. Wow. So, and then after, we're going to go back a little bit again, but after Domination and Steve Tucker comes in, you're going fast again. It felt good to start going fast again?
Yes, of course. Of course, because that's what I was meant to, that's what I always wanted to do. That's what I always wanted to be, like known as what I started being, the fast, the blast beat, the 1 foot blast beat dude. And I always wanted to keep, never want to lose that.
Right.
I always want to, that was like a part of me, man. It was like if I was, when Jesse and Oscar didn't have Terrorizer yet, they didn't know they were missing until they found it. And then, wow, big songs right there. And Morbid Angel, they knew what they were missing. What they needed to complete the team.
Right.
And they got me. And things happened throughout. First album to Blessed, Carbon and Domination. It got formulas right.
Right.
It was good. Yeah, it was like a rejuvenation type of thing because number one, a new singer, a new vocalist, and you worked out. It was you did a good job for that album, for that. And excitement, you're excited. They're great songs. And you feel it also because it's practicing. The practicing what makes perfect.
Yep.
If I have problems during some time, somewhere in a recording or in a live tour, I have problems, I didn't do well. I just know what it is. I didn't get in shape. I didn't practice enough. So practice makes perfect, man.
Yep.
So I practice and practice and practice, and I got ready for formulas. And I want to make sure, the formulas was going to be like it's going to be a more furious underground, more brutal, not more brutal, but brutal. More brutal than previous album, I believe. Faster, I believe it is. And we were all excited with the first formula, Fatal. The first album, I was doing it, and then, of course, there's always like some new things, with follow-up albums, Gateways. Right. It's a little different,
Yeah.
Still, it's got its things going on there.
Oh, yeah.
Gateways on H anymore, and then it's Heritage, right?
Yeah.
GH. Heritage was a good album, in my opinion.
Right.
I think it's the last the Steve did with us when I was in the band. But
so was it you and Trey that wanted to bring Morbid Angel back to the fast again?
No, because it's not like we have lost speed. It's not like we were playing heavy metal.
No.
We were doing the blast beat that way. Hey, it's done on the angry, dominate. You know, we must dominate.
Right.
So it's brutal. Man, they were not as fast. They were brutal. They were songs like our Slam Live, you know, more of a slower type of song, but very nice, very good song. And it was a great album. It just happened to be like that. Even the sound was too clear. In my opinion, it was too clear. You know, that album was too clear. It was too. They wanted to do too much to it. Because it was done several times.
Right.
It was mixed several times, and no, we want for him. And I ended up like that. I wanted to make sure that the formula was not going to be as clean and it was going to be a very dirty album. Not dirty, but
yep.
you know, very fast. When you hear Abu Lamari, Jim Lee is the first song, or what? Given or something. Man, it's just pure speed, 1 foot speed.
Yeah.
So it's like it was like for me like like come back with a vengeance.
Yes. Yeah. And I'm assuming with Steve Tucker that came in, that brought it made it exciting a little bit again.
What is it? A little exciting?
Yeah, like Steve was kind of, he obviously coming into Morbid Angel, he was excited to start playing. That got you guys to be like, all right, let's make it again raw, faster, more brutal, that kind of thing, right?
Yes. Yeah, I could say more, but I don't wanna say things that I shouldn't say.
No, it's okay, yeah.
They're not relative to, they're kind of relative, but not necessary.
Sure.
As far as individuals, you know what I mean?
Yep.
But it's about what individuals like, you know?
Yep.
Their preferences, and some people were going to a little direction here, kind of experimental.
Yep.
Like what you saw on the last Morbid album, the Angel album, but I did not do, the follow-up. So they experimented, you know what I'm talking about?
Yep. Oh,
so
yeah.
People were going to that direction. They wanted to experiment, wanted to play a little more mellow, not as fast, wanted to experiment with something.
Right.
Then with a new lineup, we just went and we just did it the old way, we continued with Morbid Angel, like total brutal, fast, evil. I don't know if it's still, but evil is anyway.
Yeah.
Furious and fast and very. So yes, Steve brought some kind of excitement, enthusiasm, and also motivation to go forward because he was a great musician for that album. For that album and the other albums, of course, that he did. And so we were, that's it,
Yep.
We're going to do the next album. And that's how we did it. We all did a great job, we went for it.
Yeah. Yeah, big time. So to keep your chops up nowadays, do you guys jam all the time still, or do you just kind of sit at home, or like Terrorizer? Do you guys jam a lot?
Yeah, of course, when this thing wasn't happening, this thing started happening 4 or 5 months ago, this virus thing.
Yep.
Come on, bro. It's like, it's just, I even get angry because we all know, number one, all this time we couldn't do it together.
Yep.
Because of the danger of it.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Oh, terrible.
So, hey, before that, yes, man, once a week we were at least jamming with Lee, working on the song. But since about 3 months ago, bro, we haven't done anything because of this thing that's been going on that we don't know whether it's whether it's true or whether it's made up. We don't know, but all I know that it's going on, and we have to take care of ourselves everywhere we go.
Yep.
And we wear a mask. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's even worse. They come into practice, you know. You practice and you're breathing a lot, and who knows if somebody. So we haven't practiced for months, bro. It's kind of sad.
Yeah.
I have been practicing, of course.
Sure.
Individually, we have been practicing, I believe. I have been practicing. I practice a lot because I got my thing going. My thing, you know, my own movie that I'm creating.
Yeah.
Not a movie as far as my project, musical project. I've been working for it so hard on this thing that I'm still working. I gotta work every day on this thing. So this is about drums and percussion. So yeah, man, you know, I've been working on something that hopefully, you know.
What are you working on? What are you working on?
It's not for sure that it'll make it, you know, it's not something sure that it's gonna be possible, you know, but it can be possible. And I wanna do it because it can be possible in some ways. In some ways that may not be so good or the right thing or may not, you know. So hopefully I'll make it happen because it's one of my last wishes before I die to have this by me.
Wow.
And I know it's gonna happen. With God's will, of course, it's gonna happen.
Right.
And if I keep working on it, which is mine, you know why? I mean, of course I keep working, but it's not something that no, man, it's a desire. It's something that I enjoy, that I love. I'm not gonna say anything.
Wow.
But it is something. It's not Terrorizer. It's not Morbid. It's not any other band. It's me.
Wow.
And other musicians, but musicians that you guys may not know.
Right.
See what I mean?
Wow.
People that don't know. So we don't know yet. So, but this thing with this virus, you know, it just kept us so separated. That I have killed a lot of time, man. A lot of things, you know how it is. A lot of people, a lot of businesses have lost.
Yep.
A lot of businesses, bro. Just look at this, the baseball, the hockey season, the football season, how everything, the NASCAR. I see the NASCAR races because I love NASCAR, bro. You know why I love NASCAR?
Yeah.
Those speeds, man.
Yeah, man.
It's 165 miles, 180 miles. You can walk 175 miles in those turns, man. But now you see NASCAR live there. You see empty seats.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Like last, dude, who could have thought of that last year? This was going to happen.
Right.
And
Exactly.
it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be baseball. I heard a short season like that with no people discontinue.
Yeah.
Just players. You know, so I see NASCAR. Wow, it's just the workers, everybody associated with NASCAR.
Yeah.
People, you know, the cars, the drivers, the crew.
Yeah.
Everybody do the job because they gotta do it.
Yep.
But they're running like hell, of course. They're running because they're running. They don't care whether there's nobody.
Yeah.
It's so funny, man. You see them fast. Those spots where everybody sees when you see full.
Nobody. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Did you see what they're doing? Did you see what they're doing in Japan? How they're filling up the seats with stuffed teddy bears and animals and stuff like that for baseball?
Like mannequins?
Yeah, yeah, they're putting mannequins, stuffed animals, all kinds of stuff in the seats just to fill it up to make it look like there's something there. Yeah,
That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. That's
yeah.
what I was saying. Wait, why not put a bunch of mannequins there? I don't know. You know.
It's not the same, though. It's not the same because with a lot of the sports, you need the crowd interaction to get you excited, right? So, yeah.
Hey, it'll be just something like for fun, you know.
Yeah.
Not for fun, but not for seriousness.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, exactly. And what they're doing with like the UFC and all that, there's nobody in the seats or anything. So there's no crowds cheering, there's no crowds booing, none of that stuff, right? So it's strange what's going on right now.
It is, and I don't know how long it is gonna go because every time people breaks more of the rules for the law, whatever,
Yep.
worse the situation becomes. So where are we gonna go with this, man? It's getting scary.
Yeah.
You know, like, no shows, no nada. Also, shows we had with already for Europe that we didn't do early this year because of this stuff.
Yeah.
We had some festivals got canceled because of this stuff.
Yeah.
We losing money too, man.
Yeah.
Businesses are losing money. I don't know, bro, but this is something where.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's strange. It's hard to deal with.
I
Yeah.
don't even know how far it's going to go. That's the worst thing. When is it going to end?
Right, exactly. Because myself, I mean, I work in the entertainment industry also. I'm a stagehand. We do film production and all that stuff. We can't do any of that yet. So, like, how is that going to work in the next few months? Like, we have to work. We have no choice.
Yeah, a lot of people have lost their jobs. So many unemployed people because of this.
Yeah, man.
This is like I'm telling you, it's unbelievable. It's running like a dream, you know. Like
It is.
like a nightmare that, wow, you know. I think that you could have never imagined that this was going to happen like this and how it happened.
Yeah.
And how it's all over the world, and not just in the United States, but in many other countries too. And I don't know, bro. It's so confusing. Man.
Yep. I don't know, man. It sucked because it happened so fast. We didn't have time to prepare, nothing, whatever, to figure out what's going to happen. They just literally, it was all of a sudden, they shut us down and deal with it. So it's hard to deal with, man. Like a lot of people, you know, depression, anxiety, all this stuff is taking over, and it's not helping the matters, right?
No, they're making it work many times, like opening parks, like amusement parks. They open them for a weekend. They may stop here. Beaches that will open up.
Right.
Oh, keep your distance. How can people keep distances with it?
Yep.
You know, and a few other things, you know, like beaches, you know, and some places that were open for a while, you know. Yeah, we want to take care of ourselves. We want to do it the right way. We want to respect the rules, but people ended up.
Yep.
Not doing the right thing, and some of these people got even sick themselves, as far as I've heard.
Yeah.
You know, they got this virus, and now what's up? You know, who's gonna kill it? Oh,
Yeah. Right.
Oh, this whatever this medicine is saying that people are still looking for this
Right.
vaccination.
Yep.
And everything.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Who knows?
I just don't know, man. It's not, I don't know, man.
So you're keeping busy trying to do your own projects, which we can't talk about right now, but it's keeping our sanity somewhat, keeping your sanity, trying to do these extra projects that you want to do on your own.
To try to keep my sanity.
You got to keep your sanity by doing these extra projects, right? Like this, the one you were saying that it's not metal, it's not anything, it's just something you want to do, right?
Yeah, because I've done the other thing so much that it's good to have a break. You know?
Yeah,
The
of
only
course.
thing that I feel, because it's a type of booking money for us. It's a job, so we miss. Hey, and also it's fun playing live with me playing these songs.
Yep.
But I've done it for so many years, man, 30 plus years style of music. So this what I'm doing is not like with guitars, something with different kinds of instruments. So it's like I'm having such a blast because it's a new thing,
Right.
and still I'm playing right with my style of music,
Right.
doing blast in some parts, doing double bass, blast beats, slow beats, and then adding some percussion also.
Cool.
Something is gonna need help, to make it possible, to make it happen. Somebody, in the studio where I wanna record it.
Right.
I think it is exciting. I'm telling you, because when I talk about it, it's not about metal. It's not about death metal. It's not about grindcore. It's not about jazz or heavy metal or classic rock, or it's nothing about any of that. It's different. It's something and it's not just drums either. So
Right.
there you go.
Right on. Right on.
I said other instruments. Hey, what other instruments may be out there?
Who knows?
Many.
But you're having fun doing this though, and it's kind of and it. I guess what's the word you want to say? It makes it fun again. Makes music fun again, right?
That's because I love the riffs. Yeah, I love the rhythms. The rhythms.
Yeah.
Not riffs because they're guitars, but rhythms. The harmonies.
Yeah. What other styles of music are you listening to right now?
Well, I listen to different kinds of things depending on the time of the day. Sometimes I listen to classic rock, I love a lot of classic rock, old Pink Floyd, the Moody Blues.
Oh, I love the Moody Blues. Love the Moody Blues.
That's some great, they have some great songs.
Yeah, man.
I love them, man. And, some Judas Priest, that I always loved. I listen to maybe a little heavy metal, here and there, and some classic rock, of course, and I listen to classical music, of course.
Right.
I love classical music. Yeah, I love to.
Is that what mellows you out? Is that what mellows you out?
Amadeus Mozart's piano concertos.
Ah.
His piano concertos.
Ah.
He's got some of the most beautiful piano concertos. I've listened to a lot of his piano concertos and some of his symphonies, of course. Some of his piano sonatas, of course, a lot of them. And so is Beethoven. He wrote some good, some nice piano concertos, a lot of great piano sonatas, and a few symphonies. As we know, he only wrote 9 symphonies, so he wrote as many. He lost his hearing at his young age, so I can imagine how hard it would have been for him
Right.
to write music, you know. When
Yeah.
he couldn't hear his own music. Man, that would have been sad. When he lost his hearing during his... I think when he performed the Fifth Symphony, he was already kind of gone with his hearing.
Right.
So after the Fifth Symphony, the 6th and 7th and 8th and 9, which is a 9 is one of the greatest ones that he wrote. For me, the 5th and the 9 are my favorite ones. And the 7th is pretty good too, and you know, some good ones here and there. But the one that has the most symphonies ever written, and the one that was before Mozart and Beethoven, was like maybe 20 years before, and that I listened to a lot, and it has a lot of great symphonies. It's Franz Joseph Haydn. He wrote over 108 symphonies.
Holy.
Just imagine, 108 symphonies. He is considered like the, you know, like the god, like the creator, the father of the symphony is Haydn.
Right.
Symphonies wise, and he wrote many kind of concertos too, and other stuff. But for me, imagine if you're gonna get to hear 108 symphonies, man, you're gonna spend a lot of time there. Each symphony has 4 movements, you know.
Yeah.
First movement, second movement, third movement, and fourth movement. And so, for me, he's my favorite. But he wrote the most symphonies ever written, and a lot of it. I would say, you know, out of 108 symphonies, I can pick up at least 40
Wow.
great symphonies.
Holy.
Whereas, you know, Amadeus, as far as symphony-wise, he wrote 41 symphonies. I would say he's got like 10 of them that they're pretty good out of 41 symphonies. But Haydn is a master, man. Haydn is that's what he's called, the father of the string quartet.
Right.
And the father of the symphony. That's his name, Haydn. Check him out, bro.
All right. Wow.
Joseph Haydn, not his brother. His name is Franz Joseph Haydn.
Okay. I will. Because I need some new stuff to listen to, so that's perfect then.
Yeah, man. Yeah, one of these days, I could send you a couple of symphonies that you can check right away that are good.
Okay.
Pick up.
Yeah.
Because you got 108 symphonies. You know the first symphonies of ever composer, they're not going to be the greatest ones because they're starting.
Right.
They're the first ones that they wrote, and they're starting. They learn a lot. You know, they got more experience.
Sure.
You know, in writing this style of music throughout, you know, his time of writing as many symphonies he wrote. So, man, you know, this guy, I'm telling you, even when I said his first symphony is fucking great already. His first symphony is good. His fifth symphony is great. Sixth symphony, you know, this movement, I mean, it's hard to explain.
Right.
Because this symphony has 4 movements. The first movement is usually the fast movement, the allegro. It's called allegro or vivace, presto, whatever. And then this movement is supposed to be, it's called an adagio. What is an adagio? Very, very slow melody, very low. You know what I mean? And then it's a minuet. He wrote the best minuets, minuetes or whatever, I don't know. This is like Italian minuet. The third movement, he wrote the best minuet, man. I love so many minutes of him. And then the fourth one, the Savage ends up with a, you know, a presto, fast. So the fourth movement is the symphonies. So some of these symphonies, see how this works. The first movement may not work for somebody, so somebody doesn't know about classical music will say, I don't like this composer.
Right.
That's important because he hasn't heard the second movement, the third movement, and the fourth movement yet. It's the same as when you hear the album, you hear one song and say, oh, I like this band because you heard this first song. But you don't know the other songs yet.
Right.
But the other songs are great. It does the same thing with the movements. Some movements are greater than other movements. I'm telling you, this is what happens later, man. Man, you know, the first movement might be great, and then his adagio is kind of a little too boring and sleepy because his adagio is supposed to be lento, slow, you know. And then his intento andante is supposed to be more like a little bit mid-space thing, you know. You gotta hear the whole thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes, see, I may not like 3 movements of one symphony. I would love one of the movements. I would love 2 of his movements of one of his symphonies, or 3 of his movements. One may like all of his movements. But I will stop right there because we're not talking about classical music.
Yeah, but it's what you like, though.
Too much information given already. Laugh a lot.
But it's what you like, though. That's the thing, though. I mean, all of us into music, we have to like different styles to get different interpretations to bring into the music that we want to play or whatever, right? Like, you can't just listen to death metal. You can't just listen to grindcore. You kind of have to break it up and listen to other stuff. So when you go back to it, it's fresh again.
Yeah, I don't listen to death metal or grindcore. I don't need to. I'm bored. I played it for 30 plus years.
Right.
And you know what I mean? I don't have to listen to any.
Yeah.
I wish everybody the best, but you know, I've got so many other better things to do to listen to.
Right. Of course. There's a million genres.
And that help me get better too.
Right. Right. Yeah. Exactly.
And create new things as well.
Like this new project that you're talking about.
Oh yes.
Yes. Yes.
I just hope it happen, bro.
Good, man. I can't wait to hear it, man.
It won't happen because I have it over here. It's like Mozart said, man. Mozart never wrote. Every time Mozart wrote a score, he only wrote it once. You know, he never had like copies of it.
Right.
He never made even errors. You know, fraction. He only had original ones. So you know. I feel like I'm lost with Mozart right now.
That's fine. That's awesome.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway.
Have you ever thought about making movie scores?
What?
Have you ever thought about making movie soundtracks and scores and stuff?
No. And yes. No, because I'm not prepared, ready now. And yes, because I love to try that in my near future also. Because it's that's where my project kind of heads to.
Oh.
Kind of thing, but not necessarily a soundtrack. Though.
Right.
From there on, many, links.
Yeah.
For soundtracks come in place,
Interesting.
And it's one of my, one day I could probably, I don't know, I'm just not as good with keyboards, because most soundtracks nowadays, they pretty much use synthesizers and keyboards, and they you know what I mean? It's not really that much going on. It's not like when you say, hey, piano concerto number 20 of Mozart, piano concerto 21, piano concerto number 27. Renegotiate November 25th. You know, those are brilliant
Right.
creations, and, so like I was saying, this guy was so brilliant because he wrote it and that was it, I mean,
Yeah.
he wrote the music and he never went back to try to arreglar algo.
Right.
Spanish, fix them.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Habla español, ¿no? No.
What's that?
Habla español,
No.
¿no?
No.
Bueno, esto es para todos mis amigos que hablan español. Son muchos. Los saludo, los quiero mucho, les mando mi cariño. Espero verlos en acción otra vez. Y los que no me han visto, espero verlos pronto, porque esto seguirá. Continue.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Right on, man. Well, thank you very much, brother. And I want to continue chatting with you. Like you mentioned, you have this new project that's coming up that you don't want to talk about right now, but I'd like to hear more about it. And like you said about the soundtracks, I'd like to talk to you about that too, because we make movies and stuff in the background, and I'd like to get some ideas from you maybe in the future.
Wait a minute, you gotta repeat that what you said. I couldn't hear you very well.
Sorry.
Come on.
I'd like to chat with you more in the background about your new project or whatever that you don't want to. We can't discuss right now. But I'd like to hear more of it since you are, familiar with, doing something different or whatever. I'd like to talk to you more about that later on down the road because we can't discuss it here right now. But and for movie soundtracks, we make movies and we're in productions and stuff. And I'd like to talk to you more about some of that maybe in the future also.
Yeah, for movie soundtrack is something where I'm not even planning on doing because I don't know, bro. For movie soundtrack, I don't even know what it takes, man, because I don't even know how that is done. The score, the movie's given to the music writer, to the composer, or what? Or
no, we do it from the heart.
The director, the movie, the director
right.
Picks up the guy for the soundtrack, or who picks it up, or the guy for the soundtrack, he makes it the way he thinks it should go. I don't know, man. It's kind of so many things that goes on for a soundtrack.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
For this project that I'm talking about is something where I am on control,
Right.
I don't need anybody else.
Perfect.
I am on control, And from this happens, make opportunities for doing soundtrack, but for doing soundtrack, not just saying, hey, you're gonna do a soundtrack. How are they done? I know they're done with synthesizers. This guy plays the music in his studio, blah blah blah. But how do you pick the pieces of the movies, which
right.
is gonna have the kind of music?
Right.
You gotta watch the movie. And the director or the writer of the movie has to have the idea for the song that he wants. Of course, it got to be a conversation with the soundtrack music guy. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a little more complicated because I've never done things like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it can be possible.
Yeah.
It can be possible, but I don't have experience in that.
Yeah. Hey, man. Hey, it doesn't. Hey, we're right from the heart. You feel it from the heart. What I find with the soundtrack music itself, it usually comes from the heart. Sure, there is Hans Zimmer and, Bernard Herrmann and those kind of guys who make, orchestral soundtracks. But then there's
Ennio Morricone.
Ennio Morricone. Yes,
yeah,
yes.
Back then there was not much, some of the new technology, equipment.
Yeah.
And So with Andy, it was pretty cool because he had back then those instruments, especially for the Western movies that he did.
Yep.
Man.
Yep.
With About in the Ugly, with Clint Eastwood.
Love it.
Wow.
Love it.
That was the best soundtracks and the instruments that he uses, the voices.
Yep.
And the sounds. Wow, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. It's that kind of style too that I'm familiar with more, which obviously you are.
Yeah, but with this project, it's like I'm creating more drum kits.
Cool.
Style. I don't even know how to. I can't tell you anymore. It's just.
That's it.
It's just. It's. It's a project with drums and percussion and other instruments.
I love it. I love it.
Instruments that, but no guitars.
Love
bass,
it.
Yeah, bass, no guitars. No, so you're getting an idea. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To the direction of soundtrack and stuff, but it's not for a soundtrack. It's more of an experiment that I wanna do.
Excellent. I can't wait to hear it, man. I can't wait to hear it. I don't want to keep you too much longer because we've already been chatting for about 2.5 hours now, really.
Oh, really? And this phone is gonna die soon. Okay.
Yeah, buddy. So thank you very much, and I appreciate hanging out with you, man. It's been an honor, bro.
Very welcome, Kim.
Awesome.
Good luck. Good luck to you. Nice meeting you.
Yeah, definitely.
And best luck, with your program or whatever project you got going.
Yeah.
And whatever you need, man, just give me a call, man.
Okay.
A shout.
You got it, man.
Right.
Totally. Thank you very much, bro.
Take care, man, and everybody else take care.
All right. Be safe, man. Be safe with your family.
Peace, bros.
Peace. Take it easy.
You too, Ken.
Right on, man. Holy shit. Holy shit. Okay. It's fucking Pete Sandoval. Man. I'm not one to get flustered or starstruck, but holy fuck, man. Goddamn Pete Sandoval. That is unbelievable. Unbelievable. My heart was racing that whole time. I gotta admit, man, that's intense. That's intense, man. Because Morbid Angel, to me, even Terrorizer, man, those are different bands. Altars of Madness, Blessed, Covenant, the Formulas and Annihilate, wow. Awesome, man. Oh, I don't know, man. I don't want to shed a tear right now, but holy crap. That's just an honor. It's just an honor, man. And it just feels good to connect. And I don't even know what to say, man. I'm lost at words. So I don't know, people. I think I gotta go I gotta go decompress and see what's up, man. I hope everybody had a good time with that one, man. That really worked out. I need a shave. Shut up. I need a shave. Whatever. Oh, Secret Chiefs 3. That's a good one, Colin. Ended up seeing them open up for Goblin on one of their tours, and they kicked ass. Yeah, man. They're a great band. Wow. I Yeah, I gotta go. Shit.